Hello everyone, welcome. My name is Karen Cooper. I'm Rivier's Executive Director of Development and Marketing. I'm very pleased to welcome you to this reception for alumni of the Division of Education. Today we're honored to have alumni come back to campus to visit with us and also to have faculty, staff, many of whom are also alumni of the college as well. So we thank all of you for taking the time to be here. And we're here today to welcome Dr. Mary McNeil. So we're very pleased to have this event and thank you for that. We want to thank our alumni. Really, the point of these events is for us to connect with you, to invite you back to campus, to get to meet you in person if we haven't already, and to keep you informed of the latest news and events happening at the college. Several of you are regulars here. You come to many of our events and trips, particularly one table in the back, ladies. So I want to thank you for that, and I want to invite other alumni to check out our website at rivier.edu/alumni. Check out our alumni trips, events, both on and off campus, and we hope to see you at another event very soon. I'd like to recognize two of our alumni in the room. One is our chair of the Alumni Association, Pat Wixon. Pat is a graduate of the classes of 95 and 2001. And also MJ Meadis, vice chair of the Alumni Association, graduate of the classes of 74 and 85. So please join me in welcoming Dr. William Farrell.
Well, welcome back to Rivier. We're delighted to see some familiar faces and some that aren't so familiar, so we're going to have to do this more often. But I wanted to say that we're delighted to have Mary here. As a matter of fact, our careers have one thing in common. Both of us were in California, and we have the good sense not to stay there. But we're really delighted to have her back here in New England and working here at Rivier College with our new doctoral program and with all the excitement that's going on in education these days. So I think that I'd like to have all of us give a big hand for Mary.
So it is now my pleasure to introduce our guest speaker and our new Divisional Chair of Education. Dr. Mary Elizabeth McNeil joined us as Divisional Chairperson this academic year. She was previously Associate Dean and Professor for the College of Educational Studies at Chapman University in Orange, California. She served as Professor and Director of several offices at Plymouth State University and was an Associate Professor at the University of Vermont. She has been a member of the New Hampshire State Board of Education. She established the New Hampshire Journal of Education in 1998 and remains on its editorial board. She holds a Doctorate of Education from Boston University, a CAGS Master's and Bachelor's degree from the University of Vermont. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Mary Elizabeth McNeil.
It's that special time of year in New England, I think. And well, people in California, by the way, I told them I was going to the Riviera when they asked. Take a day off. Okay. And so now they're calling me to say, well, how are you doing? How are you doing? Are you surviving? And I keep saying, it's a beautiful fall day. You would love it. I'm so lucky to be here. When they're calling me in January, I think I'm going to have to say this number no longer works. Try another one. And I hope this is really the start of a dialogue that we get to have as alums come back, as we work with our undergrads and our grads and with people around campus. The title is Changing Education, Changing the World. And I think that's kind of a bold statement, but I hope that you will be joining me in the dialogue about this. What I'd like to start out with is really going back in time. And this person, some of you may recognize, some of you may not. His name is Comenius, and he is often referred to as the father of modern education. Now, he happened to do a lot of writing. He was very prolific, a Czech scholar, writing in the early 1600s, very tumultuous times in Europe. But he was a really remarkable person, very avant-garde. He was pushing the envelope. One of the things that he believed in a time when education was really reserved for nobility and for the clergy, he said, education should be not for one man or a few, or even many men, but to all people together as well as to each separately, young and old, rich and poor, irrespective of birth, men and women. In short, everyone whose fate it is to have been born a human being. Once again, we have some people pushing the envelope. So think about it, 1933, right after the Great Depression, and the Sisters of the Presentation of Mary say we need to have access for women, and particularly women whose families were involved in working in the mills. This is pretty remarkable given the time. So Comenius helped to set us on a path. Rivier College has helped to move us in new directions. To participate in the life of Rivier College, of course, we're striving for academic excellence. We're learning to take responsibility for ourselves and others, and I think this is really important. To engage in a dialogue about basic human issues facing society, especially the plight of the poor and the powerless. I have been a lifelong proponent of inclusive education, so from coast to coast and also in a number of different countries. I've had a chance to work extensively with people in Honduras and some very remote areas of the country, way up in the mountains and in other spots, with the idea of helping them, sometimes through systems change, to have laws for educating children with disabilities. So working sometimes with ministers of education, presidents of countries, to begin to bring about some changes. Well, it seemed to me that there's a distinguished history here, a very long history of working with people who need access to higher education, a very long history in the field of education, and a great reputation. Small college. I like to think of it as a place where you can have a personalized education of distinction. And I think our graduates will attend to that. It's pretty neat to come to a place that has an early childhood center and a doctoral program. So I get to work with infants and doctors. What could be better than that in a career? The challenge. Education, employment, and economic development in the United States are at a crossroads, and I might add in the world. There's a changing nature of work. I think it's important that we begin to take a look at leadership for educational innovation. What would that look like here at Rivier? How could we begin to affect change in a different way in terms of working with our students and our faculty? We have some very talented people who have received their education here at Rivier. They have gone on to do some really wonderful things in schools and in communities. I think it's important that we stay in touch with these individuals, and of course we want to encourage them to come back and enter more graduate level programs, perhaps a doctoral program, because there's such power in providing education for children. There is much work to be done in the world, and I'm hoping that all of you will participate in the dialogue with us to begin to make some substantial changes and improvements. Thank you very much.